What a group. You know, I like this hat so much, I said, I'm going to wear it today. Should I?
Great.
Should I?
Yeah.
If you have beautiful hair like this, you don't have to do this, but I really like it. Well, thank you for everything. We have a big day coming up, and tomorrow's I think something special. We just had a poll. What was the number? Like 71 to 10 national polls.
Wow.
71 to 10 and 9. And we have another one come out, 69 to 11 and 2. I mean, these people are dropping like rocks.
Yeah.
We're not.
Right.
There seems to be something about 50%. Now, it doesn't matter from a number standpoint, I guess, you know, from delegates, but there seems to be a number, and I don't know why I think they're doing it so that they can set a high expectation. So if we end up with 49%, which would be about 25 points bigger than anyone else ever got, they can say, he had a failure. It was a failure, you know, fake news. So they always, you hate them. You hate them. I can see my supporters. They got fake news. He's shaking his head with anger. He's definitely voting for Trump, that guy.
Love that phrase, President. Love that phrase.
Thank you very much. So there seems to be something about 50. I don't know if we break 50, but it would be, what's the highest? Does anybody know? What is, somebody won by 12 points, and that was like a record. Well, we should do that. If we don't do that, let them criticize us, right? But let's see if we can get to 50%. It would be, they would find a reason for not finding it good. The snow, they'll say the snow kept everybody away. We do seem to have a lot of good enthusiasm. I don't know, maybe the weather's not going to be that big a deal. They have a little wrestling, I think they have a wrestling match on today. Does anybody know about that? Is that a big deal? No. And Dan Gable's been great to me, you know. He's been great. He likes me, I like him. I just don't want to wrestle him. How do you think I do with you, Dan? I think I can take you, sir. I would think so. Now that would be an upset, right? But he's been great. They've all been great. Jim Jordan's coming in. You know, Jim Jordan was a great wrestler. In high school, he was 130-0, which is amazing. And then he went to Ohio State. He was an All-American. But to think that you didn't lose a match when you're a freshman wrestling against seniors, you know, that first couple of years, because that's a big difference. For those of you that like sports, I happen to like sports. A lot of people are saying, what the hell is he talking about? We have to work hard. You know, we're down to, I was saying when they rigged the election, I said 4 years we have to wait. A lot of people thought we shouldn't have had to wait 4 years. But we did it very properly. Everything was very proper. They like to say it wasn't, but they're sleaze bags. But we did a lot of good things, and we are more popular our movement is more popular now than it was 4 years ago or 8 years ago, which is pretty amazing. You know, it's really pretty amazing. I just want to thank you all. It's been an incredible period of time. I think we're going to get a tremendous vote tomorrow. The big thing, and I say it at every speech, you don't sit home. Even if you think we're winning by a lot, it doesn't matter. You have to get out and vote. And we're really setting the table for November by doing that because, you know, we're in very good shape. I hear we're in very good shape in New Hampshire. But they're trying to sign every Democrat available. You know, that's a different kind of a thing. Every place you go, it's a little bit different. But over there, you're allowed to have independents, and you're allowed to have Democrats vote, and they have these sleaze bags from Coke Industries, and they're globalists. You know, that's all you can say. They're globalists, and we got to do something about globalists because they're selling our country down the tubes, and they're spending all that money on Nikki Haley, and they're going out trying to get independents and Democrats to vote for her in New Hampshire.
Who? Haley, who's she?
Oh.
Bird brain.
I said, was that too severe?
No.
I know her well, and she's not suited for the job. I know her very well. She's not suited. Some people are suited. I tell you who's suited. You know, they say, he's very honest. I am very honest. If you ask me, I'll tell you who is. And if I don't want to say something good about something, then I won't say it. But we will say that in her case, she's absolutely not suited. But she's back with this Coke money. It's called Americans for Chinese Prosperity. You ever hear of Americans for Prosperity?
Terrible.
Yeah, we call it Americans for Chinese Prosperity. It's a bad group. They're bad people, and we got to win. So they're doing that. And fighting over here too, but it looks like they've been very ineffective. But in New Hampshire, they are actually signing people to vote. And I think that's disgraceful. I don't even know if they're allowed to do it. So we're going to have a lot of fun this next 2 days, and I think we're going to be rewarded with a tremendous win. And we're all going to be together, I hope, for that win.
Yes.
So that was a nice win. You know, let's go on to the next one. Now we're going to have some incredible times together. We're going to make this country so great. We can do it. We can change it so fast. We close up the border. We have the safest border. You've heard me say it a million times. We have the safest border in history. We had the lowest drug numbers in 32 years, which is very hard. Without the death penalty, it's very hard. With the death penalty, you wouldn't have any drugs. They say drugs. We don't sell drugs in this country. You want to end it, but people have to be ready for it. You know, it's interesting. Remember, every drug dealer, on average, kills 500 people during his or her lifetime. That's a lot of people. And then you say the death penalty. Everyone says, oh, that's such a severe penalty. But the only countries, virtually, that don't have a drug problem are the countries that have a death penalty. You look at Singapore, it's like it used to be just riddled, and now nothing, zero. And they've become very successful countries, actually, because a big part of their population was drugged out. And, you know, we see it in, I'm going to a place in New Hampshire which has got a tremendous problem with drugs. And the people are phenomenal. They don't know what to do about it. It's disproportionately high in New Hampshire. And we're going to talk very seriously about it. So we'll be talking about drugs. But we have the safest border in history. And now we have, I think, the worst border in the history of the world. There's never been a country that's allowed people to come over at a level like that. So I just want to thank you. Now, while I'm here, unlike Biden, Biden would never do this. It would be the end of his political career, although they're pressed with the fake news over there. Would give him pass. Are you with the news? The camera?
Yes.
Oh, who are you with?
We're with CNN.
Fake news. Well, it is fake news, but we don't mind. But don't give me any questions. But we don't mind the gear. But it is fake news, as you know. That's why your ratings are so low. But these are minor details. Why don't you cover Biden a little bit more? Any questions? Anybody have a question?
Mr. President.
How many will you deport?
A lot. We're going to have no choice. But it's not sustainable, just so you understand. It's not like we can take, I think the real number for CNN is 15 million by the end of his term. It could be 18 million, which is larger substantially than New York State. I think he's going, it's even higher than that. It's an invasion. It's an invasion. If you look back 7 years ago, you look back at my first speech that I made. I didn't have a speechwriter, and I just told it like it was. And I think it was a very good speech. It was controversial, but it's not controversial anymore. I said they're coming up, and I said the people that are coming up, they're from prisons, and now they're from prisons. They're emptying out jails all over the world. In Africa, the Congo, they empty out their jails. If you look at the jail population, all over the world, it's down, way down, and in some cases they have nobody in their prisons where they were packed. All over the world, you have in Africa, you have in Europe, Asia, Middle East, Yemen. Now we're bombing Yemen because they have a little reputation for terrorism. Would CNN admit that? CNN doesn't agree with that, of course. Yemen has a slight reputation for terrorism. We're taking in people from Yemen. We're taking in thousands and thousands of people from China. And, it's one thing to come in and come in legally, and we all want that. But there are virtually no women. And the people we're taking in are from 19 to 25. I wonder why that is. Okay, I wonder why that is. There has been no president in history that's done the destruction that this guy has done. He's the worst president in the history of our country. He's the most corrupt president in the history of our country. And he practices warfare, lawfare, or whatever you want to call it, weaponization. There's about 15 different terms for it, meaning you use the justice system, or I call it the injustice system, because it's very corrupt. They have a woman there, Lisa Monaco, who's really running it. Nobody knows the name, but she's running it. And she's been an enemy of mine for a long time. I don't even think I ever met her. but she works with Weissman, Andrew Weissman, a real sleazebag. And she is like, that's her boss. Weissman is her boss. And she comes after Trump because her job is to come after Trump, to try and damage Trump so that Biden can sneak by because the man can't put two sentences together, right? Now, it's had so far the absolute opposite effect. You see the numbers, and I just saw on one of the networks that we have a record polling. It's only polls, so it doesn't matter that much, but it does matter a little bit. But in the polling samples, we are higher than anybody's ever been. So it's been pretty amazing, and I believe we're probably substantially higher because of what they've done, because they got caught. Because I'm allowed to speak about it. Other candidates, if they ever got a subpoena, they have to resign from politics. You know, they make a statement. You know the standard statement. I will be leaving office, and I will be going home to spend time with my family. And that's the last time you ever heard of the guy. With me, I did the opposite. I'm away from my family. Where's my family? My family would like to see me too, but I'm here. But I love it here. We won twice, and we're going to win again.
Yeah.
Do you have a question?
I asked my question.
That was a good question. Oh, don't ask it here. She asked a question actually at the Fox Town Hall, which, by the way, got double or triple the ratings of the debate. Leave that question alone.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
Okay, so when you get a chance to take a break, what are you going to do first?
We'll probably get on the phone call and find out how things are going. I'll get on the phone. No, I don't need a lot of breaks. I've never taken a lot of breaks. I've never taken a lot of breaks. And when I do take a break, I'm working anyway. It doesn't matter. I just happen to be in a different location. Does that make sense?
That does.
And we can't take too many breaks because our country's going to hell. They have destroyed our country. And, you know, I made the comment, the blood of our country. Well, look at what's happening. The drugs that are pouring in, people that are pouring in, the people that are coming, you take a look at where are they coming from? They're coming from prisons. They're coming from mental institutions. They're terrorists. And they are destroying our country. These people, and the only thing that nobody really knows for sure, are they doing it on purpose or are they stupid? And I happen to think that anybody that can cheat on an election like that is not stupid. So, because that's what they do. We have to stop the cheating. The biggest risk we have is the cheating of the elections. Because if it's up to the votes, we have so many votes, we don't even have to be here today. We don't have to campaign. But when they add millions of ballots, when they do what they did, when they go to legislatures and get rejected, and then they come down and they do it anyway, everything that they got rejected for, the legislatures rejected them. Republican legislatures usually, because the Democrats usually got what they want. But we're talking about massive numbers, big numbers of states. They get rejected by the legislature. Okay, that's the end of that. They come down, they do it anyway. In fact, they do it worse. They extend the elections. It's a very sad thing. We have to, two things. We have to have strong borders, and we have to have strong and fair elections. And if we don't my biggest fear, and I think the biggest fear of the people in this room, and I think the biggest fear of the American public, you just have to look at the polls. We have to make sure they can't cheat on elections. And we have gone all out, but they're dirty, rotten cheaters. And they're really good at it. I mean, they break voting machines. Look what happened in Arizona. And the judges don't take it up. It's amazing. The judges don't want to take it up. That was an election more recent. That was an election. They go and they waited for Tuesday. We want to wait till Tuesday. We want to wait till Tuesday, Arizona. Everyone's waiting till Tuesday. We don't trust putting a ballot in because we should trust it because it's so corrupt. We want to wait till Tuesday. Wait until Tuesday. And all the Republican voting machines, a big percentage of them are broken. I mean, just, stand in line for 20 hours in the Arizona sun and maybe you'll get to see it. And nobody does anything about it. So we have to have fair and honest elections, and we have to have strong borders. And we're going to have a country like nobody's ever had a country. We had this country going just prior to COVID coming in. There's never been anything that happened in any nation, anytime, anywhere in the world, like we were running. We were going at a level. And then we did a great job with COVID, but we had to spend money on COVID, and it really, we did much better than just about anybody else. Every nation, if you look at it, I think $51 trillion was lost. Death, tremendous death and destruction because of the gift from China. It came out of the Wuhan labs. And that was a terrible, terrible situation. But we had the greatest economy anywhere in the world, by far, not even close. Remember, China was going to catch us in 2018. For 15 years, China was going to catch us when I was the president. Yes. And we doubled up what we did with China. And they know it better than anybody. I got to know President Xi very well. He said, "You are doing good." He wasn't happy about it, but he did admit it. So anyway, thanks a lot. We're going to have a big day today, but we're going to have a big night tomorrow.
Mr. President, you've added a couple of events in New Hampshire. Was that a response to Nikki Haley's rise in the polls there?
Say it again.
You've added a couple more events in New Hampshire next week. Was that a response to Nikki Haley's rise in the polls there?
Who's rising the polls?
Nikki Haley's.
She hasn't risen to me. See, this is a typical CNN question. They had it the other day where Nikki went up a little bit beyond. She went up 2, and she was at 11, but she beat DeSantis. I was at 69, and I went up 7, and they said, Haley surges. She was at 11, but she beats it. So the headline was Haley surges. Because that's why it's fake news, CNN. That's why nobody watches it. No, not for any reason. I have time here. I like the people here. They're great people.
We love you.
We do want to send a signal to November. And it's really November. We're not even talking about anything else. We're not worried about New Hampshire. In South Carolina, we're beating Nikki by 40 or 50 points, and then she was governor there, so explain that one. Plus, we have almost every major government official in South Carolina is endorsing us.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been amazing. And in Nevada, which you're forgetting about, but Nevada's actually third, comes before South Carolina. And in Nevada, we're at like 90% or something. So we're doing
Mr. President,
You said
there's no election issues.
Thank you, President. Let's go.
Any comments?
Thank you, press. Let's go this way. Thank you, press. Thank you, press.
What a shame.
Laura, 1 second. Press out. Come on, guys.
Right there? All right.
Right there.
Can we get a white balance?
It's going to be right up there.
Can we get a white balance?
Just getting started. He was like, we're going to go back here.
He was. I know that's what she's answering.
Once the things press head there, we don't want to get
It's Mr. President.
Ladies and gentlemen, at the historic Hotel Fort Des Moines, we stand in the heart of a place rich in history and renowned for its hospitality. It is events like today that really bring our hotel to its fullest life. Over the past 104 years, this iconic building has hosted 14 United States presidents, along with numerous distinguished individuals and foreign dignitaries. Following a remarkable $70 million restoration, we are here to host for the next 100 years. My story, as well as this hotel's story, is only possible in a nation such as America. And today, on the eve of the historic Iowa caucuses, we are honored to be joined by President Donald J. Trump as we proudly unveil, for the first time since the hotel's restoration, our revered American flag. Mr. President, thank you for fighting to uphold Iowa's very important first in the nation status. Mr. President, the honor of this moment belongs to you.
Well, I just want to thank you. You've done a beautiful job at the hotel. You used tax credits that gave you the incentive to do it, and we were very proud to produce a little while ago. And you've done a fantastic job. And I've stayed here often, and we've stayed here successfully. You know, we won twice, and we're going to win a third time. Yes, sir. I think based on what I see, the enthusiasm is more than I've seen in 16 or 20. We did better in 20 than we did in 16, but as you know, there's something happened. But we did better in 20 than we did in 16. I think the enthusiasm right now is bigger than it was in 2016 or in 2020. And I just want to thank you for doing a great job, being a great American. You really, I know how hard you work. I would see him here, he'd be working. I say, who is that guy? They said, that's the owner. I said, that's the way it's supposed to be, right? So congratulations, and this is my honor. Thank you so much.